it. Okay, a farmer's cornfield is a triangle with side lengths of 16 feet, 24 feet, and 32 feet. The farmer plans to increase each side length by the same number of feet. Okay, so he evidently wants to make more corn. He evidently wants to increase the size of his cornfield, which is shaped like a triangle, by the same number of feet on each side. Now, obviously, if the side lengths are 16, 24, and 32, then it is not an equilateral triangle. So I'm going to just kind of shift the triangle because it's not equilateral. Okay, the shortest side is 16. We have a side length of 24 feet and a side length of 32 feet. Now, he wants to make his cornfield bigger though, so he's going to increase each of these sides by the same number of feet. And if you look down at this expression, you'll see that he's increasing every side by x feet. Why was he able to just put x every time if it's three different sides? Because he's increasing them by the same number of feet. Okay, so this could be like plus 5, plus 5, plus 5. So that's why he's able to put x for all three of them, because they're the same number. We just don't know what that number is. Okay, so look, here's x plus 16. That's this side. They just wrote it 16 plus x, but that's okay. X plus 24 and x plus 32. Why is it that he's adding up the three sides? Perimeter. Thank you. Now, the question asks which expression is equivalent to the expression for perimeter of the larger cornfield. Okay, this is representing the larger cornfield once x has been added to each of the sides, but they want to know which one this is equivalent to. No, let me show you. X plus x is 3x. 16 plus 24 plus 32 is 72. However, D says this, 3 times x plus 72, which when distributed out would be 3 times x is 3x, 3 times 72 is 200 and what? 16? Is that 216? Okay, so is that the same thing? No, that's why D wouldn't work. But look at C. 3 parenthesis x plus 24. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 24 is 72. So the equivalent expression is C. Does that now make sense? That is an EOC type problem. So if you can learn how to do problems like that, you will be doing well for the EOC. That's why we're going to do these problems every day. Okay? All right, now let's go to the packet. Before I move on, were there any questions that you wanted me to go over from the work yesterday? Any? $16? All right, number 16. The sum of three consecutive odd numbers is 93. What is the smallest of these numbers? Okay, well, we know that there's got to be three numbers, and we know they have to add up to 93. Okay, but they also have to meet some other criteria. They have to be consecutive, which means what? In order without skipping, and they have to be odd, so we can skip the even numbers. So like 1, 3, 5 or 7, 9, 11. Okay, so look, if you are considering that 1, 3, and 5 are going to be the numbers that help you set up the equation, because we know those aren't the answers, they don't add up to anywhere near 93, we can call 1 x, because right now obviously 1's not really the first number, so we're going to call it x. Well, if x represents 1, what expression would represent 3? X plus 2. And then x plus 4. Then you add them up, and they should equal 93. You combine like terms and get 3x plus 6. I'm sure those of you who did your homework started noticing, listen, that they're the same. Anytime it says consecutive odd or consecutive even, it was 3x plus 6 every time. What was it every single time if it wasn't odd or even and it was just consecutive? No. Right, because think about it. If it doesn't have the word odd or even, you're not going to need to skip. So this would be x plus 1, and that would be x plus 2, and 1 plus 2 is 3. I know. I said yes. Okay, but if they're even or odd, this is going to be the same thing every time. This is going to change according to the problem. So now to solve for x, we subtract 6, and we get 3x equals, and then what do we do? Okay, so 29 is the smallest number. To check it, you would write the other two and add them up to make sure they add up to 93. And they do, because think about it. If you threw that 1 right there, that'd be 30, 30, and 33, which is 93. Okay, any other questions off of this assignment? Okay, let's go on to today's then. Next page. Okay, we're going to translate the following word problems into algebra problems. Do not find the solutions to the problems. So all we're going to do is write the equation, but we're not going to solve it yet. Okay? I'm not sure if we will or not. There's not a lot of room, so I'm not sure. We might just talk out loud about how to solve them, but we might not write it down. Okay, triple the original number n is 2,700. How do you write triple the original number n? 3n though. And then is 2,700? Right. Now, even though we're not going to solve it, let's just talk about how we would. What would you do? Right. You would divide by 3 on both sides and you would get n equals 900. Okay. I'm doing the odds with you. Number 3. Number 3. 4 times the difference of a number and 2 is 20. Very good. Okay, the difference of x and 2, but all of it's multiplied by 4, so that's why she said put parentheses around it, and then it equals 20. If you were going to solve that one, what would you do first?
4 times.
Distribute the 4, and you would get what on that side?
4x. Negative.
Minus 8, because 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. And then what would you do?
Minus the 8 with the
No, 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 no. The 8 was already minus. You would add the 8.
to the 20 and then divide it by 4 and give you that.
And what would your answer be? Okay, why are there people? Oh, Seth, instead of distributing 4, what else could you have done? Right, if you just divide 4 at the very beginning, this would have become a 5. And when you added the 2, you would also get 7. And think about it. 7 minus 2 is 5. 5 times 4 is 20. You could almost just look at that one and figure the number out. Okay, number 5. The number of parts in inventory, which we're going to call P, minus 54 parts sold today is 320. So what's the equation look like? Right, P minus 54 equals 320. So how many parts were in the inventory at the beginning of the day? What?
We don't know.
I don't. We should know.
Unconfirmed.
No, no, no. That's how many were after at the end of the day. How many were there at the beginning of the day before 54 were sold? 374.
Oh, because you add the 54?
Yeah, you would add the 54 to get P by itself. All right, number 7. Number 7. 100 seeds divided by 5 rows equals n number of seeds per row. How do you write that? Correct. Okay, 100 divided by 5 equals n. So how many seeds are they putting per row? 20, because 100 over 5 is 20. Number 9. His base pay of $200 increased by his commission X is 500. Well, X is 300, but what's the equation? Okay, you could write it like that, or you could have written it 200 plus X equals 500. It doesn't matter. Do y'all know what commission is? What is it? Right. Normally somebody in sales, like a car salesman, even people like that build homes.
Have you seen that show, The Office?
Be quiet. Even people that build homes get commission because like they'll have like a either hourly rate if they're hourly employees, or they'll have a salary, and then like if you're a car salesman, you might make a percentage of the cost of the car you sell. Okay, so it's like a bonus for selling the cars. That's what commission jobs is. But they're only good jobs if you're good at selling the product.
Yeah.
If you're not good at selling things, then that's not the kind of job for you. All right, number 11. This month sales, number 11, this month's sales of $2,300 are double January sales of X. What R is what? What's R equals? R is, isn't that the same thing? Okay, 2X. All right. 6 less than the number D is 12. No. D minus 6 equals 12. Why does subtraction matter? What property is subtraction not? Commutative. Okay, the only two properties that we've talked about that are commutative are what? Addition and multiplication, because with those, order doesn't matter. You're going to get the same answer. But with subtraction and division, it does matter. They are not commutative. Number 15. We started with X number of students. When 5 moved away, we had 42 left. Right. So, how many students were there at the beginning? 47. Okay, turn to page 11. Okay, number 17. Number 17. Fluffy, Spot, and Skippy have a combined age in dog years of 91. Spot is 14 years younger than Fluffy. Skippy is 6 years older than Fluffy. What is Fluffy's age F in dog years? Okay, it's not. We've done problems like this before. Fluffy, Spot, and Skippy. Okay. Which dog do we know nothing about their age? Fluffy. I know nothing about Fluffy's age, and they tell me to call his age F. Okay. If Fluffy's age is represented by F, how could you represent Spot's age? No. You can't. You have to use the same variable because we're gonna combine. Okay, think about it. Think about it. Right. To figure out Spot's age, wouldn't you just take Fluffy's age once you found out it and minus 14 from it? I know, but I'm trying to help everybody understand, Jamarion. No, but there are people who are confused, and when you're talking over me, they're not hearing me. Yes, you are. Shh. Okay, so, Braylon, how would you represent Skippy's age? So, F plus 6, yeah. Okay, so to find out Skippy's age, you would just find out Fluffy's and add 6 to it. Now, what are we going to do with these three expressions?
You're going to combine them, so it'd be 3F. Then it'd be negative
Okay,
14.
so we're going to add them up, and it should add up to what?
3X.
Well, add up to 91, because their combined age is 91 years. Now we're going to combine like terms.
So 3F. And then who's got this? 3F plus 2.
Minus 8 equals 91.
Then you add the
Well, they told us we didn't have to solve. But yeah, if you wanted to, you could add the 8 and get 99, and then divide by 3. 33 in dog years. Negative 14 plus 6. All right, number 19, Aaron. Number 19. A furniture store advertises a 40% off liquidation sale on all items.
What would the sale price be on a $2,530
Okay, so finish it. Go on. No, tell me how to do it since you're the teacher.
Oh, you so much. Oh, Brandon, you want to show the class how to do it? I mean, the Mario? Okay.
What? Talking homework? Oh, give them the homework. The video's on. Okay, look. The price would be the starting set.
So $2,530.
Right, but then what are you going to do to that amount?
Multiply it by 0.40.
No.
Subtract it by 0.40.
You have to subtract off the price, and that price is multiplied by the 0.40. That's not exactly what you said. Okay? You have to consider the original price and subtract off 40% of that price. Okay. Number 21. Tamika runs a floral shop. On Tuesday, Tamika sold a total of $600 worth of flowers. The flowers cost her $100, and she paid, I'm still waiting on people to be quiet. She paid an employee to work 8 hours for a given hourly wage W. Write an equation to help Tamika find her profit P on Tuesday. Yes. Okay. How do you calculate profit?
Like, what do you mean?
Right. Right. Your total minus your expenses. So, her profit is her total minus her expenses. Well, what was her total?
600.
And then what was her expenses? No. Well, there's two different expenses here. 100 for the amount she had to pay for the flowers, and then also 8 hours of work for W dollars. I thought, you said 108. I didn't hear that. Okay, so P equals 500 minus 8W, because you could go and combine those. All right, number 23. Taylor buys X shares of stock in a company at $34.50 per share. She later sells the shares at $40.50 per share. Write an equation to show how much money M. Taylor has made. Okay, so we're trying to figure out how much money she makes, but I'm going to change up this problem to something you might understand more. Let's say that you buy 10 new iPhone 8s and you pay $900 for each of them. Okay? Listen. You pay $900 for each of them. Okay? So yes, if you multiply that, that would be $9,000 that you paid for them, right? But, okay, but then, you know how like on the day of the release it's hard to get them? Okay, so this person ended up getting 10 on the day they were released, and they're going to turn around and sell them because people are willing to pay a lot more to get them faster. They're going to turn around and sell those 10 phones for, for $1,200 a piece. Okay? So how much money would that be? $12,000. How do you figure out how much money he actually made on the phones? You subtract 12,000 minus 3,000, right? Okay. 9,000 and he makes 3,000. Okay. But our scenario is a little different because with the iPhones, we knew that he was buying 10 and selling 10. With the shares, we don't know. So both of those are unknown. But how much did he sell them for? He sold them for $40.50, and he bought them for $34.50. And don't we always subtract off what he paid for them from what he made when he sold them? And so that would simplify to M equals what? 6x, which means he's making what? Per share. Okay, it is your job to do the even problems for homework.